Anyway, the last part of the story that I wanted to get to was Nas Daily. This guy, Nusayr Yassin, okay? He is an Israeli agent, a propagandist, and he was there while we were there. Separately, of course. He did not come on the fucking flotilla. You guys are so stupid. Some people were like, oh, did they do no vetting? Did they allow Nas Daily to come on the flotilla? You're a fucking idiot. Now, the real question to ask here is why an agent of Israel is so invested in the aid mission to Cuba. Why is an agent of Israel doing this at all? Is it perhaps because they love the thought of starving children and they're an equal opportunity child starver? And that's why they were like, what a wonderful moment. I'm going to justify the starvation of children and the death of children here as well. You know, I love blockades. I love participating in them. Right? It's my favorite fucking thing. Or maybe it's because the American government has basically outsourced their propaganda to the Israeli spy agencies. Perhaps that's one of the reasons. And I think that is one of the reasons, because a lot of Hasbara accounts stopped talking about Israel this past weekend and went on maximum overdrive talking about Cuba and how the Cuban government deserves worse. Isn't that strange? Isn't that weird? Don't you find that odd at all? Does that not make you a little bit curious as to what's going on? I found it to be rather strange that they took the time out of their busy schedules to defend Israel, to then turn around and talk about, and literally spend money and resources to fly to fucking Cuba directly to counter signal against the work that this humanitarian aid mission was doing. Very strange. Very odd. Right? I said this about Al Yacobi. The only place in Cuba where currently has electricity is a 5-star hotel where Hassan Piker and co-picker are staying. This is not true, but it doesn't matter. I said every single Zionist propagandist have laser focused their sights with lies on an aid mission to Cuba as it withstands an American blockade. Does the entity not derive enough satisfaction from killing Palestinian children that they now want to offer help in starving Cuban kids? Nas Daily was one of these people. He's an agent of Israel. I think we all know this, right? He's a genocide denier. He says he's Palestinian. He's not actually Palestinian, or at least the Palestinians don't consider him to be Palestinian. He is straight up an agent of the Israeli state, the Zionist entity. He's a Zionist himself. He approached me. Are we still under bad empanada blockade? I saw I made a video interviewing Cubans. Are you fucking on crack cocaine, dude? As I'm withstanding a barrage of propaganda, you want me to go and like watch the fucking dude who was memeing about assassinating me on Cuban soil? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Seriously. Jesus fucking Christ. If there's anyone that's like deeply fucking unserious, it's a guy who literally turns around. Obviously, he wasn't even in fucking Cuba, mind you. But it's crazy that like he is so unbelievably disingenuous and so unbelievably mentally ill that he was like the first out of all the wave of fucking harassment on this fucking trip. It came from our left flank. God damn. It like, talk about someone so mentally unwell, so deeply disturbed that like, he goes, oh, these fucking people are going for propaganda and a selfie trip. Me, on the other hand, I'm going for propaganda and a selfie trip, but good, you know? He's just a fucking mentally ill ultra. That's it. If he wasn't so mentally ill, he'd be fine. Whatever. I'm trying to be fucking sincere here. I'm trying to do, decent work. Nas Daily has built his career whitewashing Israel's genocide of Palestinians and Azerbaijan's ethnic cleansing of Armenians. Now he's agitating on behalf of America to violently destroy Cuba, right? Yeah, where is it? So he came up to me at the Havana airport while I was flying to Mexico and then flying to Los Angeles to enter the country through Los Angeles yesterday. I was shocked. I didn't fully know who he was when he approached me, yelling with a phone camera in tow with his girlfriend, right? And he was like, "Oh, do you know me? I'm Nas Daily. Do you know me? I'm Nas Daily." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I turn around. This fucking guy. He's like, "Do you know me? I'm Nas Daily. I have a massive YouTube channel. And when he realized I had no fucking idea who he was, he started immediately yelling about Hamas. We're in fucking Havana, Cuba. Okay? We're at the Havana airport. And he just starts screaming about Hamas and Israel. He's like, "I'm Palestinian, and what you're doing is hurting the Palestinians." And I was like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Right? And then, this was when you were leaving or arriving? No, this was when I was leaving. Okay? I found it very strange that an agent of Israel was also in Cuba, right? And there were these wonderful older people that were also sitting at this cafe in the airport next to us. And they were so grossed out by this fucking freak that one of the ladies was like, "Hey, can I ask you, like, what do you do that, like, this person is yelling at you? What's going on?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a pro-Palestinian political commentator." And he just like was screaming. He just got like more and more agitated, right? Got more and more agitated because I wasn't giving him the attention that he desperately wanted. So I turned around. And I said, "Do you feel like this is making you look good? Do you feel like you're getting a good clip out of this? You're freaking out all of these people around us." And I think that was a moment of self-reflection for him, because he kind of stopped and his girlfriend was like embarrassed, right? His girlfriend was a little bit embarrassed. So he stopped. He stopped filming. We didn't film it. Marsh was next to me. We didn't give a fuck enough to film it, right? So he went away. And I thought that was the end of that equation. But we were leaving the cafe to go to our gate. But it turns out it didn't end there. He wanted more. He wanted a better clip because he couldn't get it, right? So he was filming from afar and yelling still. You're going to stop doing Hamas propaganda. You're going to stop doing Hamas propaganda. You need to stop being a supporter of Hamas. You're hurting the Palestinian cause. That's when I, experienced maybe a blip of a cortisol spike. So I turned around and said, "What are you going to fucking do about it?" I didn't even drop my bags. I just said, "What are you going to do about it? You going to stop me?" And he walked up to me, still filming. I said, "What are you going to do? Go ahead. Stop me." When his girlfriend realized that the situation was escalating, she tried to pull him off. She was like, "Come on, let's stop." Whatever. Okay? So we did. He started backing away, and I said, "Yeah, that's what I thought." We proceeded to go towards the gate, he came back again to yell from afar. He came back again to yell from afar, to say, "Oh, yeah, keep running away." And so I turned around and said, "Suck my dick." And that's it. That's the end of that story. Okay? But of course, because he couldn't get any of the clips he wanted out of it, he had to fucking cope. But when I saw him make an argument about, some people see this and think central planning is a good idea, as he talked about, you know, the lack of trash collection born out of the oil blockade, right? I said, I can confirm that this Israeli agent was on the ground. He came up to me at the Havana airport to scream and weird everyone out. People around were worried about his mental health, looking forward to how he tries to chop up the video, wondering what his purpose was. He kept saying, "Don't you know me? I'm Nas Daily. I have a massive profile." His girlfriend also felt weirded out by his behavior. "I hope he gets well soon." Okay? To which apparently he responded with, "As a Palestinian origin Muslim for hundreds of years, I wanted to make it clear." By the way, everyone in his replies are like, "You're not a Palestinian. Shut the fuck up. You're an agent of Israel." "As a Palestinian origin Muslim for hundreds of years, I wanted to make it clear to you that you're bad for the Palestinian cause and your activism is hurting innocents and empowering terrorists. Palestinians want moderate leaders to lead them to peace and coexistence. They don't want you to lead them to another fight while you stay in five-star hotels, live streaming wearing Gucci. P.S. You are only strong online." Okay? That's what. Then I said, "Is that why you backed away after people were weirded out by your antisocial behavior, only to try and muster up the courage later to try a second attempt at a video, shouting at me from afar? Will you put how you stood down when I asked what you do about it to stop me in the video?" So I denied him the clip. And all he had in the end was this: "Don't worry, you're not worth making a video about. You can rest easy that beautiful video I took won't be online." So why'd you take it? Maximum cope. His girlfriend lying about the interaction because they don't plan to post a video. "Law, what are you talking about? I was there. There was no screaming. No one was even paying attention. He walked up to you and said, 'As a Palestinian, you're hurting Palestinians.' You hurled vulgarities and ran away." Yeah. It's funny because not a single person that was involved has denied the interaction except for the girlfriend. So just release the entire clip then. Post the whole interaction. Do it. We didn't film it. He did. You should have recorded it. Brother, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know that an Israeli Mossad agent followed my ass to Havana fucking Cuba and intercepted me at my point of travel and started yelling from afar with his phone camera out? How the fuck does anybody prepare for that kind of psychopathic experience? I will, however, say it made me maybe a little bit worried that Israel, I think, has that level of involvement in the affairs of any sort of anti-American imperialist endeavor, that they would literally send their agents out. They would literally send their agents out to places like Havana, Cuba. Okay? Besh. No shit, they would. I mean, I didn't think that they would be this involved. I thought they'd be. They have a whole, genocide to defend. I know why they are actually mad. I was wondering what the excuses are they're using to be mad. I said it's because I went. These people have no vision or goals out of politics. They're purely reactionary. Their politics revolves around opposing me. It sounds fucking insane, but that's a big reason. I wish them well. But yeah, Hassan Piker faces backlash for Cuba protest trip. Like, I wasn't there. These people are just adding my name onto this. The members of Pablo Iglesias and Hassan Piker's VIP flotilla throw food at Cuban children. Insane. This is an insane clip. Anyway, I said this is the other thing. This is like clearly one of those CIA accounts that I was talking about, right? Mayra Dominguez, all these numbers and whatever, and they're botted into fucking oblivion. This is a gigantic mockery of the entire Cuban people. The left visits Cuba as if it was a party at a zoo, and they go to admire misery from a luxury hotel. It's outrageous. They're all hypocrites who live their lives sorted out and pretend to tell the Cubans that the genocidal regime is good. Now, what's really interesting about this very clearly bot account, the CIA account, is like, why did these people come to Cuba with aid? They should have just stayed at home. They should have just stayed in the countries that starve Cuba instead and keep demanding more of that pain from afar. Like, that's the argument here, right? That's the argument. The argument is like, no. It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up that you're over there, you're documenting the stuff. The Cubans that you're encountering are not actually fucking mad at all. They're happy that you're there because you're like, giving dollars to the people that you encounter. It's one of the only ways that they can get any foreign currency whatsoever. Okay. And like, the expectation is not like, oh, the Cubans should be grateful or whatever, right? Like, that's not even what I'm saying. Also, Noah Colwyn is here. The expectation is not that. Like, that's not the argument at all. It's fucking disgusting. No one is making that argument. But the point is like none of this is bad, right? None of the things that are happening that they are presenting as like a really fucked up way, are actually bad things at all. They're only able to frame this as a bad thing because regular Cuban citizens don't have a fucking voice in the matter, right? I know what I experienced. I know what I experienced. Did he run into you at the airport, or were you tracked as in he wanted to send a clip? I don't know. But like, all of these arguments basically revolve around saying